We continue now at the top of Daf Amud Aleph in Meseches Nedarim. This is Nedarim Daf 81a, and the previous Amud the Gemara brings a contradiction within Rabbi Yossi. In the Mishnah, Rabbi Yossi said that if a person refrains from bathing, that is not considered to be an affliction. However, in the Brayso, Rabbi Yossi says that if a person refrains from doing laundry, that is considered to be an affliction. And so the Gemara says, Guf kula lo kol shekain. So if not doing laundry, if that's considered an affliction, so not bathing one's entire body, certainly that should be considered an affliction, and that's the contradiction. And the Gemara answers, Amri, they answer in yes. Kivisa alim al Rabbi Yossi. When it comes to laundry, a person that doesn't do laundry, that's stronger, that's more of a pain to the person, according to Rabbi Yossi. The Amar Shmuel, because Shmuel said, Hai arvu visa dereisha. If a person has dirt on his head, masi lidei avira, that brings one to blindness. Arvu visa de money, if a person's clothing is dirty, so masi lidei shamumisa, that brings a person to madness. And arvu visa de gufa, if a person's body is dirty, masi lidei shichni vikivi, that brings a person to boils and sores. And of the three, madness is considered to be the worst, and therefore we understand that not doing laundry, that is considered more of an affliction than not bathing. And the Gemara continues, Shlachim mitam, they sent a message from there, from Eretz Yisrael, to the people of Bavel. Hizaru barvuvisi, you have to be careful of the dirt, of the grime that leads to disease. Hizaru bechabura, you have to be careful not to learn alone, you should learn bechabura with a group. And hizaru b'vnei aniyim, and you also have to be careful with the children of the poor. Shemehen teitzei Torah, that it's from them that the Torah goes out. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, Yizal mayim midol yov, the water flows from its branches, but we're darshaning dal to mean like the poor. Shemehen teitzei Torah, again from them goes out the Torah. And why is it that by Talmidei Chachamim their sons don't become Talmidei Chachamim? Amar Rav Yosef says, Shelo Yomru Torah Yerusha Hilohem, that they shouldn't say that the Torah is like an inheritance for them. Rav Sheshes Breid Ravidi, Rav Sheshes Breid Ravidi says, Kedei shelo yisgadru al hatzibur, in order that they don't become arrogant over the community, or they don't become presumptuous over the community. Various translations. Mar Zutra Omer Mibnei Shein Mizgabrin al hatzibur. The reason is because they lord over the community. As the Mefarish explains, Mibnei Shein Mizgabrin Devadei Kol Mishu Talmid Chacham Uveno Talmid Chacham. Certainly, if a person is a Talmid Chacham and his son is a Talmid Chacham, Vadei Mizgabr, he's certainly going to lord over the community. And the Gemara continues, Rav Ashi says, Mishum dekaru le'inshi chamori, the reason why their sons don't become Talmidei Chachamim is because they don't honor, they don't respect the average person. They call people donkeys. The Mefarish says, dekaru le'inshi chamori, she'ein noagin len kavod, u'mevazin osar mimnei Torah shebehem, because they have this Torah, so they don't act respectfully towards other people. They disgrace them, and that's why their children are not Talmidei Chachamim. And the Gemara continues, Ravina says, She'ein mevorchim b'Torah tchila, the reason why their children are not Talmidei Chachamim is because they don't make a bracha on the Torah before they learn. The Amar Rav Yehuda Marav, because Rav Yehuda says, the Rav says, Mai dichsiv, what does the pasuk mean when it says, Mi'oisha chacham v'yavein ezos? The pasuk discusses why the land was destroyed. Davar zen nishal lechachamim v'lanavim. This matter was asked before the Chachamim and the Neviim v'lo pirshu. They didn't explain it. Ad shepirshu HaKadosh Baruch Hu bi'atzmo, until HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself explained it, as the pasuk goes on to say, Tichsiv, like the pasuk says, Vayomer Hashem al ozvam es Torasi. Hashem says it's because they left my Torah. And it also says in the pasuk, "V'lo shamu v'koli v'lo halchu ba." And the Gemara asks, "Hainu lo shamu v'koli, hainu lo halchu ba." Isn't the phrase "lo shamu v'koli, lo halchu ba"? Doesn't it all mean the same thing? And the Gemara answers, Amar Rav Yehuda Marav. Rav Yehuda says, the Rav says, the extra phrase means she'ein mevarchin b'Torah tchila, that they don't make a bracha on the Torah before they learn. And the Gemara continues, Isi bar Yehuda lo asa l'mesifta de Rabbi Yossi. Isi bar Yehuda, he didn't come to the yeshiva of Rabbi Yossi, Talasa Yomi, for 3 days. Ashkechei Vardimus Rabbi Yossi, so Vardimus, the son of Rabbi Yossi, he found him. Amar Lei said to him, my time lo asi mar levei midrasha da'aba hatlasa yom, and why didn't you come? Why did the master come to the base medrash of my father for the 3 days? Amar Lei said to him, Ki taimi diavach lo yadano heicho yisai. I don't understand the reasoning of your father, so how could I come? Amar Lei, so he said back to him, Lei mamar, my kamar le dilmu yadana taimi. Let the master say what was said, maybe I'll know what the reason is. And so the Gemara continues, Amar Le, he said to him, Hadatanya, that which we learned in the Brayso above, Rabbi Yossi Omer Kavisasam Kodman L'chaya Acherim. Rabbi Yossi said again, a situation where a spring, it starts from a certain town and it flows to another town. So Rabbi Yossi says, if there's only enough water for the people where the spring began to do laundry, and then there won't be enough water for the lives of the people in the other town, the laundry actually takes precedence over the lives of the people in that other town. And so he asked him, Kram and Nolan, where do we see a source for this in the pasuk? So Amar Lei, so he said back to him, because the pasuk says, Umigrashayem yu levehemtam v'gomer, talks about the land that's given to the Levium, talks about the land for their animals, but my chayosam, what does it mean at the end of the pasuk when it says chayosam? Ileima chaya, if you're going to say it means like the animals, v'alo chaya b'chlal behemahi, but the chaya, that's already included in the behema, it already mentions behemtam. So what does that mean at the end of the pasuk? Elamai chayosam, what does it mean chayosam? Chiyusam amish, it means they're actually using the areas around the cities to live in. But the Gemara says, Pshita, but that's obvious. Of course you're going to use a city to live in. So, Elalav kvisa, rather is it not, the pasuk is referring to laundry, ta'ikat sara darvu visa, and what the pasuk is saying is that there's pain that comes from dirty clothing that's considered an affliction, and that's what the spaces of the city is going to be used for, to take care of cleaning their clothing. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. The Mishnah said, Amar Rav Yossi, Ein elu nidre inoi nefesh, these nedarim that have to do with not bathing or not adorning, those are not considered nedarim of affliction. And the Gemara says, they had the following question. According to Rabbi Yossi, what about the fact that the husband might be able to annul these vows because it has to do with the relationship between him and her? And the Gemara says, Tashma, come near the following proof. Rabbi Yossi says, Ein elu nidre inoi nefesh. These are not considered nedarim of affliction. So we can infer, Avol devarim shebeino leveino havyan, but they are considered nedarim that have to do with their relationship. So the nedarim can be annulled for that reason. And the Gemara says, no, maybe not. Dilmo lididhu kamar luhu. Maybe he's just speaking according to their reasoning. He says, lididi, according to me, afilu dvarim shebeino leveino lo havin. Those are not even considered matters having to do with their relationship with each other. But lididhu, but according to you, damrisu havyon nidre inoi nefesh, that you say that it's considered nedarim of affliction. So oduli de'ein elu nidre inoi nefesh. At least admit to me that they're not considered nedarim of affliction. At least admit that they're not. Maybe they're nedarim that have to do with their relationship, but they should not be considered nedarim of inoi nefesh. And so the Gemara says, so what is the halacha? Rav Ada bar Rava Omer Mefer. Rav Ada bar Rava says that according to Rabbi Yossi, he is able to annul the vows because they are vows that have to do with their relationship to one another. Rav Huna Omer Ein Mefer. Rav Huna says, no, he's not allowed to annul the vows according to Rabbi Yossi. Not only are they not nedarim of inoi nefesh, they're also not considered nedarim of devarim beino leveina. We'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Pei Aleph Amud Beis.